of all, I'm not going to try to speak for all Muslims because I can't. I can only speak from my own experience and my own perspective. And I think that more so than ever, religious freedom has, in recent times, within the last couple of decades, have been tested more than they ever have before that point, and that we see how close we have become unrecognized to ourselves. What we thought we were, we actually were not. And as a result, we find everyone sort of competing for their place in the public square without letting other people with alternative viewpoints in. And this is the source of our problem. And I think that we can have different laws and we can have treaties, but at the end, if they're not being enforced, what good are they? Today, if we look around the world, we see religious discrimination in countries where the United States, they say, well, this is one of the greatest democracies in the Middle East. And I'm not just saying this because I'm Muslim, I'm saying this because I'm a human being and because what I see. I see that Palestinians are heavily discriminated against because of their religion. And at the same time, Israel is called a democracy, but I tend to define democracy by what I see as an evolving democracy in America. And I'm not saying that we've gotten there yet, but it is supposed to be an evolving democracy. But in some places of the world, I'm not even seeing an evolution. And then I look at other countries that we have these business or trade relationships with, like China, and treaties have not protected certain classes and religious people from being in concentration camps. And so I look at the representatives of organizations and I say, where's the achievement here? Because after everything that we've seen in the development of mankind, and after all the horrors of war and what we saw in Nazi Germany, are we truly going to accept concentration camps today, in modern times? When I see different populations of people can be cut off from citizenship based on their religious belief, yet we continue to sit at the table and say, these are our allies, I have a problem. I have a problem. I'm considered what one would call a Sunni Muslim. I have a problem with Saudi Arabia murdering Shia Muslims. That's not religious tolerance. That is religious oppression. So I think we have to redefine not only the way we say is what we call religious freedom, but how our political decisions decide what religious freedom is. Because until we do that, things aren't going to change. In as little as 4 years, we have seen oppression of religious people, not just here in the United States, but across the world. But the United States holds the keys to the kingdom, and they're able to influence people worldwide. And we see nationalism, we see extreme on the right, extreme on the left, influence the way that people think, the way that they react to people of different religions in the most hostile way. Yet we look at it on nightly news, and the next day or the week later, it's forgotten about. And there comes a point, if humanity is going to become a civilized international society, it has to stop. But instead, we try to stack everything in our favor. And maybe it's maybe problematic to some people. I mean, I'm a Muslim, but I was raised a Catholic. And I have respect for the Catholic religion, but at the same time, I don't think that the Supreme Court should be stacked to forbid a woman her choice to not to have the right over her own body because the Supreme Court may be stacked because the new Supreme Court justice will be Catholic. And that's fine that she's Catholic, as long as her Catholicism doesn't give weight to the rights of other people. I'm a Muslim and I pray 5 times a day, but there's no way I'm going to make it mandatory on other people to pray 5 times a day. I may wear hijab, but there's no religion by compulsion, and I would never make it compulsive for other people to wear the scarf because I choose to. And I don't discriminate against those who don't. And I don't discriminate those who wear the veil, the habit, or any other type of religious symbol that people choose to use to establish, to show what their faith is. And I think that we have to guard against these things. And I think that we have to protect the interests of the people instead of the interests of a particular party or a school of thought. Because at the end, dialogue is useless if the basis of our dialogue isn't respect, acceptance of each other's right to be heard, to exercise our will in religion as long as it doesn't hurt someone else. And until we get to that point, we're losing time. The future generation will not want to have a voice in the arena if they don't think that they're being heard. They will not think that they're being heard if policies ignore their voice. And I think that what we have to do is make our leaders accountable, not because it's in their interest to do so, because it's the right thing to do. Today we see oil and other types of financial benefit deciding what's right, what's going to sort of direct our moral compass. This isn't the way that things are supposed to be done. Our moral compass is supposed to decide what our political ideas and our moral outreach is. And if we can't accept each other on the basis of who we are and by our own goodness and by the way we treat other people instead of by who we pray to, then humanity is seriously going in the wrong direction. And we keep going back and back and back in time because people are afraid to take risks. People are afraid of the censorship of their peers. But there's no gain without pain. We've all got to not just sit in councils or in high chambers or with our degrees, but we've got to be the voice of righteousness. We've got to be the voice, the point that tells our leaders that there is something very wrong in this situation, that we want our kids to inherit something much better, that we insist that they inherit something much better, and that we make them aware of the fact that we believe that we are all evolving or supposed to evolve, but at the same time, we can regress because we see that now. And if we don't make truth the foundation of our voice, I just don't know how much we're going to be able to accomplish. I hope that we can accomplish what we need to do to make a better future for everyone. But sometimes it seems just a little bit doubtful. And it seems there's more darkness than light. And I think the light comes from the majority of them or the masses of the people showing that they can extinguish the darkness by standing up for what's right. And I hope that eventually we'll come to that.